Okay, we'll go ahead and start our post-race press conference with our race winner, race-winning car owner, I should say, and crew chief, Jack Roush and Jimmy Fennig. And Jack, obviously, well, you're shivering a little cold out there, huh?
I'm not doing that for a fact. Shaking so much.
Well, obviously, despite the cold rain, you got to feel really good about tonight's race and the first win of the season for your team.
Yeah, it was a great night for Roush Fenway and for all the guys in the shop. They worked hard all winter, and they got the result from it tonight that they've deserved. It has been a very long winter for us. We made some changes, built some new cars over the winter, and have revised our strategies a little bit as far as the way we do our engineering and the way that manifests itself in what the race cars are. And we're still working with our process. This thing is becoming so sophisticated and expanding so much. You add so many people to do new things that hadn't been done before. It's a little hard to get all the job descriptions worked out.
And Jimmy, obviously a great run tonight, great calls in the pits. Talk about the win tonight for your team.
Well, it was a good win. We really need that for as hard as everybody's been working this winter. It paid off. Carl did an excellent job driving at the end, just watching his tires, managing his tires. You know, Goodyear did a good job with their tires here. Once the track got rubbered in, we didn't have no trouble at all. So pretty happy with the win.
Okay, we'll open up for questions down here in the media center. Any questions for Jack or Jimmy? Okay, we'll start here first with Jenna, please.
Jennifer, AP. Jimmy, what made you decide to stay out there when I guess it was 75-ish to go?
Well, basically, we only had like 17 laps on our tires, and looking at the 50-lap run, we were running on the end of 50 laps. We were running the same lap times we started to run with. So, and the wear at that time wasn't a factor anymore, you know, once the track got rubbered in. So it was pretty easy that we knew that the speed was there and the wear was going to be good. So we just stayed out.
Okay. Any other questions in the media center? Okay, we'll go back to Jenna, please.
Jack, 1-2 with Carl and Ricky, and Ricky, Carl and Victory Lane talked about how far they came from Saturday, and then Ford had 4 cars in the top 5. So I guess if you could just talk about, you know, what a strong showing it was all around.
Well, we're real happy with the representation Ford was able to have tonight. You know, there were a lot of good cars that got crashed, a lot of good cars that got caught up in things that weren't their own fault. You know, you got to stand in line and just wait for the racing gods to smile on you or to frown on you to see what you've got. But tonight, you know, we did have good fortune. We had nobody that got caught up in a wreck, and we didn't break apart, and we didn't get involved in somebody else's wreck. So that helped a lot. But Ford has deserved this kind of result for their effort. You know, they've committed a lot of engineering resources to us. They give us a lot of support with cars and trucks, and for support vehicles and things, and we had not been able to do as much for them as we needed to in the last 6 months, and I was glad that we could get Carl in the chase tonight. Look forward to getting Ricky qualified for this the last 10 races, and Greg as well.
Okay, I have a question over here. Sorry. Good, Jim?
Jim Noble, PRN and Sirius XM. Ricky was in here earlier and said there was no doubt he would have put the bumper to Carl had he been able to catch him on the last lap. As the car owner of both, how do you feel about that?
You know, when it comes time to really charge for the checkered flag, the guys, there's no team orders, there's no rules. You know, I expect them to race one another as they expect to be raced, not only with one another but with everybody in the garage. You know, I expect Ricky is as fierce a competitor as there is out there, and if his car's got the speed in it and he can get to the car in front of him, particularly the short track, he'd bump and run and take the prize if you could. I would be disappointed if he didn't have that in his mind.
Would you have felt, Jimmy?
It would be vice versa, too. Carl would put the bumper to him.
After Ricky did it?
No, it's good racing. You know, it's good racing. You know, short tracks at the end there. It's, you know, especially with the new format we got with the chase like this, you know, it's about winning nowadays.
Okay, Mike Embry.
Mike Hembry, USA Today. Jimmy, how does this change the rest of the year for you now that you got this one in your pocket? Does it make you go for more wins, or make you kind of, settle in comfortably, or how do you approach it?
Well, it's about winning. That's the way we build around Roush Fennig Racing. We go out to win, so that's what we're striving for. We're going to go to California. I think our mile-and-a-half track, we're still working on that to get the performance better, and so when we go out to California, we're going to go shooting after that win. Nothing's going to change our philosophy.
Okay, back to Jenna, please.
Jimmy, what did you think of that last caution?
Yeah, no, I don't even know. I guess you get shorts, wiring shorted out or something. I don't know.
Did you think that's what it was, or you?
I
had
didn't
you
know.
had no idea?
Well, I seen the lights come on, and I didn't see the flagman. Didn't even know the lights come on, so I knew something was wrong. It just wasn't right what happened, So, from my understanding, something just shorted out, and they came on, or a couple of them came on. So, but at the end, the rain came out, and NASCAR made a great decision, yellow and checker, and that was it. So.
Okay, over here to Bob, please.
Bob Parker, Sporting News, for both Jack and Jimmy. I mean, were you worried when that caution came out that this one was going to slip by, or did you have confidence that he had been the best car for the last section of the race and he'd be okay on the restart?
Well, track position is really important here, and if you're up front with a lap or two to go at Bristol and you don't get involved in a wreck or you don't spin your tires too hard, it should be okay. I had a picture in my mind's eye of 3 or 4 of those Fords winding up in a hairball and letting one of the Toyota or Chevrolets behind come through for the win. And so I had that bit of horror, but that was just anxiety, an old man's anxiety.
Okay. Any other questions for Jack or Jen? Okay, over here to Dustin, please.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. Jack, can you just talk, you mentioned earlier, but you talk about some of the changes or things that you guys have kind of done to try to reformulate things, and how do you feel like that's gone based on so far this season?
Well, every winter we've got to look at the jobs that we've been doing technically and think about how we can do better, and of course look around at our contemporaries and see how they're doing their programs as well. And we decided we needed to add a couple of people to do some more researchy kind of engineering things. We need to reassign and redefine the job descriptions of some of the people we had on staff. We took an evaluation, took a stock of who we had, the talent and the experience and all, and decided that we had people with the right stuff that were motivated and committed. So we stayed the course with the folks that we had, even though we didn't win a championship last year. We stayed the course. We augmented or added to the staffing level, and we're able to do some things that I wouldn't care to talk about that we weren't able to do last year based on the added resources that we've applied. And Ford's given us more resources as well. They've expanded their engineering involvement one more notch and given us some more. And of course, the thing that it comes down to is it always has with people in stock car racing is you can have talented people, but if you don't work on the right things, you won't get the result you're looking for from their effort. And we've had to think not only about the people and the programs we had going on, but whether we were missing something by not focusing on some of the other things. And of course, NASCAR, with their change in the ride height rules and inspection process, opened that up to a lot of more additional considerations for things you could do with the car that you couldn't do last year, where they had to go back to inspection ride heights after the race.
Okay. Any last question for Jack or Jimmy? Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Congratulations on your win and getting into the chase.
We sure enjoy coming to Bristol, and the race fans are always exciting to be around, and they were tough tonight to stick with us through the rain.